Hey everybody, I am super pumped on Age of Wonders 4 right now. This game is fantastic. I want to show you transformation state because I found out it is just super OP if you start doing it. It makes your class look super cool and it's a lot of fun because you basically are making a hybrid version of your troops. So when I started a new game, the first OP thing I saw was Spawnkin. Spawnkin is crazy. You do 20% more damage, and what it does is it basically shrinks your guys. And so I decided to start as a orc team, and you'll see they shrink, but there's more numbers of them. So when you are looking at an army, typically there could be a few troops. There's going to be a mass amount of troops in it, which is pretty cool. As you see, you shrink quite a bit. So if you don't want to shrink, that's the downside. You could always wait. There's ways to grow big again too, so keep that in mind. And that is using another transformation, which is super growth. But you can't actually adjust your character to make them tall again, or your class after you start. So yeah, until you get super growth, you're small.
Is their origin culture?
Now, I just wanted to go over this whether you're advanced player or beginner. I just put the most points I could in chaos and nature. You could change these out. I think these are the best ones. And I started with horde so I could get Spawnkin and as a champion.
Origin?
Hey, and what if I don't want to shrink my troops? I would go magical wands. This is your second best choice for your start.
Reveal yourself.
That's a little demanding, but I like it. Alright, let's jump back to it. So after getting Spawnkin, the next one you want to get is Animal Kinship. Animal Kinship is great, because honestly, getting animals on your team, it just makes you so much stronger. And so you should always be rocking some animal troops on your team. They hit hard, they're good to have. And would you look at that? That looks really cool. They started off as orcs, shrank, and now look kind of apish. It's pretty cool. I have to say I love how this looks. Oh my gosh. He has a unicorn and he looks like a monkey. And he was originally an orc. This kind of reminds me of like Impossible Creatures. That game was fantastic. You just combine all these animals together and you fight other player teams. But wow, this is rad. Would you look at that? Just an orc riding around on a unicorn. Alright, for the third minor transformation I'd get is Revelers Heart. Revelers Heart is fantastic because you get to stack your moral. You get 50% more moral, which is huge. Having high moral increases your critical chance by 20%. And with this build, I like using Fury of the Horde as an active ability just because it makes my tier 1 units feel like tier 2 units. And I could literally just rock them pretty much all game because I'm transforming them all game, making them stronger and stronger, and eventually they feel like tier 3 units. It's crazy. Transformation is the strongest thing I think you could do in the game because it makes you feel like a beginner player going to advanced player, understanding like the true purpose of this game. And I would say one of the other really good things you could use in the beginning is Vision of Victory. It is so good. It just stacks really well with all these transformations. Go unicorn. Yes. Now they're sandwiched in the bridge. I'm digging this orc on a unicorn. So cool. And the next thing I got was Joy Seifeners. Because I thought this is just the most OP thing to stack with the last power we got, which is increase your moral by 50%. This one increases your moral by 3 per hit, which is amazing. So you're basically always going to be hitting critics now on people with this one. Now keep in mind, you're not only increasing your moral, you're also dropping their moral, which means they are getting worse as the fight progresses and you're getting stronger. Would you look at my hero now? He looks so awesome. Oh my gosh. Now the fifth one I decided to do is Vessels of Chaos minor, because this one actually increases my damage by 10%. for each debuff on the enemy. So now if I add debuffs on the enemy, I'm doing crazy damage. Just think of it, like my moral is high and I have increased 20% damage, and plus that, I'm hitting like crazy. And to make yourself even stronger, get blood furry weapons, which increase your strength when you kill someone. And cruel weaponry, it increases your damage by 30% on people with low moral, and we're dropping their moral. So it's crazy good. And the sixth one I build is Steel Skin, because it just makes you tougher, you have more defense. Yes, it reduces your lightning resistance, but you know what? You're just so much tougher. It's worth it. So here's regular dwarves, and here's my characters. They're like miniaturized with Spawnkin. Just to get an idea how small it is. And for the seventh one, I got Anointed People, just because it increases your resistance, stuff like that. And, you know, I'm trying to get max amount of transformation, so I'm literally grabbing every single one I could get, and wow, that looks really cool. I'm white. Look at that. Oh man, that's sweet. Now the eighth one I decided to get was Frostling, and it's because it has immunity to frost, and you know, enemies will do frost damage. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I love the ice spikes and stuff. But if I was doing like a frost map, I would have probably tried to pick this as like one of my first ones, because it makes you immune to frozen. My ninth transformation, I decided to do Scion of the Flame, because now I'm immune to fire, and I make like fire tracks pretty much everywhere I go. It's insane. It's pretty awesome. Now I just about have immunity to everything, or at least some. And how do I look? I'm like fire and ice now. Look at that. Ice shard spikes with red skin with fur. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Alright, and for my 10th one, I decided to get Super Growth. Super Growth replaces Spawnkin. It's like the only two that conflict with each other, because Spawnkin makes you small and this one makes you big. So I'm just replacing it. I feel like they're pretty much equals, but I prefer also to be big. You know, being little was cute and fun, but I want to be a giant now. My guys are pretty tough, so I'm just switching it out. If anything, it might be slightly better just because it has retaliation, but I have to say they are pretty equivalent. And proof that this build is so strong, if you look at the top, just about all the teams are dead. I'm on turn 99. It's insane. I literally just started making tier 3 stuff not too long ago, but yeah, it's really cool. I primarily just focus on transformations. Alright, so what I pretty much figured out is, in this game, minor transformations is limitless. But you know, there's only so many you could do. But there's only one major transformation you could actually do, and this is, I think, by far the best one. So my 11th transformation was Guyas Chosen, and it's a major transformation. And so basically the reason why I went nature is so I could get this one. It is the most OP. The second best option would be Whiteborn for major transformation, because it heals you while you're doing damage. But I feel like if you are using healing abilities and stuff like that, you don't need that to keep your units alive. But if you have no healing opportunities, that is probably the best one for you. Now let's talk about Guyas some more. So basically increases your health by 20 and your resistance, and dude, you look cool. It's like branch horns coming from your body. I have to say, this is the ultimate form. The major did not disappoint. That is really cool. So after I did the 11th transformation, I had to, you know, check how cool my units are. And it's insane. Like, look at these guys. They're mutated in so many different ways, and they're so strong. Like, all my units are basically tier 1 to tier 3, and I do have some summoned guys, which, as you see, the Belrog and the God. Look at that. So badass. Just destroys anything he touches. It's insane. So after I researched some of the tier 5 stuff, it actually gave me access to tier 2 stuff again, and I was able to get leaf skin. So I'm actually getting one more before I beat, and this is the final fight you see right here before I win the game. But yeah, there it is. They kind of look like frogs now. Well, it did say leaf skin, I guess. But yeah, so this you see right here is going to be my final fight. And here's my final character on the 12th transformation, which is so cool. He started as an orc, a white orc, keep in mind. And definitely taller than how he looked when I first made him. Just looks insane. I would say this build I did was by far the ultimate build you could do in this game. For many reasons, because Chaos is the only tier that you could do 5 transformations, and Nature is the only tier you could do 4. All the other affinities you could only do 3, in Order you could only do 2. So with me starting as a barbarian, it actually helped me progress in getting all these transformations and maximizing my character, because basically you gotta unlock high level tier 5 stuff to unlock tier 2 stuff again to go into different affinities. So in total there's 15 minor affinities on release, and there's also 5 major affinities. What this means is you could actually have a total of 16 affinities minus 1, considering Spawnkin doesn't stack with super growth. So you could have a total of 15 affinities if you had a very long epic game. But I'm at the end here, so I decided to see if you can have more than one major, but you can't. It had me replace it, and this is me wearing Whiteborn, which basically I heal per hit. That looked pretty cool. Everybody's undead. So in conclusion, what's possible? You could get 14 minor transformations, and you could get 1 major transformation. The siege was insane. It took like 13 turns. That's how I got like additional 1 or 2 at the end, and oh my gosh, they're so big. They went out of the screen. So after you follow this, guide for transformation, you should see this victory sign right here. Yep, that confirms you had victory. And just in case you forgot what my characters look like from the start, here they are. A soul brighter with a bunch of orcs. Yeah, what a change that was. I feel like I could take on any difficulty like this now. Alright, well that's my transformation guide. I just want to share my skittles with you. Skills. Live long, prosper, have fun, take care.